And we're back on Good Morning Sri Lanka with me and Banu and Stephanie. We were speaking about beauty pageants and all that, and Stephanie was telling us what a great experience she had in Brazil, Sao Paulo.
Yes, and I just loved it for the culture and the dancing. I love dancing. I teach dancing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I do. I teach dancing here.
What type of dancing?
Latin. Salsa, bachata, merengue, lady styling, all of that. And the samba is something I love, and just to be in Brazil and samba was just amazing.
Okay.
And a lot of the girls asked me to teach them how to dance.
See, this is like going to the roots of where the samba starts, I'm guessing.
Exactly.
Wow, that must have been like a dream come true.
It was, because actually that year, every year I tried to visit 2 or 3 different countries.
Right.
And Brazil was in my list of countries that year.
Bucket list. Oh, you have a bucket list as well. I have one. Where I want to go is
Egypt.
I don't have one. No, it's sad. I haven't put a country down.
That's your homework for today.
That's task number 1 after the show. But this is during the show. We're going to talk about you right now. Okay?
Yes,
here we go.
stop stealing the show.
Yes, exactly, Jason.
Yeah.
Stephanie, there are pitfalls to being so on all the time during the show. Yeah? During the pageant, you should be on always. As in, you need to look the part and be perfect, or at least near perfect. Your thoughts about it?
See, that's it's a double-edged sword. On one side, it's a beauty pageant, so you need to look good. But at the same time, I think it's very important that we celebrate natural beauty and not instill insecurities in other girls.
What do you mean natural beauty?
Natural beauty is that's a very loaded question.
Yeah, Barney, you're putting her on the spot.
Yeah, exactly. I believe in beauty within.
Okay.
And when you have beauty within, it shines out. And sometimes through the screen, you're not able to show that, because your personality has a lot to do with how people perceive you.
Yeah.
Somebody could have a beautiful personality, and that will show physically too. And I think that when you're in the pageant, they just tell you smile and wave and blow kisses, and that's the extent of what people think. People assume beauty queens to be not very intelligent, easy girls, and these are all these stigmas that are associated with the word beauty queen. Especially I find in more third world countries, that is the stigma around it. And I think, because I believed it too, being an academic, I'm not proud of it at all, but I believed it. When my mom first told me, I signed up for a beauty pageant, the first thing I told her was, do not tell my friends, because I was embarrassed. And I feel very shameful that I thought that, because once I was in it, I realized that these girls are intelligent. They have masters. Like Miss India is a human rights lawyer in New York, and she has 2 degrees and an MBA, and it's just amazing. These girls are intelligent. They all have a cause that they believe in, and just because you're in the limelight or what, it doesn't mean you're an easy person, that you're going to go around with every single guy or what. This is a perception that people have, and I think that's something that we really need to work towards, making a mind shift, a shift in thought patterns when it comes to that. It's very unfortunate that that's the stigma that surrounds beauty queens, because there's so much that they stand for. And I think it just gets lost within all the blowing kisses and, waving and saying, oh.
This is actually the first time I've actually put thought into it, about this is the sort of stereotype that's going on anywhere around the world.
Yeah.
But we do have something pretty funny on this topic.
Okay.
2007 Miss Teen USA. I think we have a clip on that. Can we check that out?
Oh goodness.
Recent polls have shown 1/5 of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa, and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
I think Mari Lopez handled it very professionally.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I watched that too. I did find it quite amusing. And you know what? Like everything, you have your two sides, you know?
Yeah.
You never have, you always, of course, there are the very intelligent ones, there are the ones who are okay, and then of course you have the ones who are really just there to show off their beauty, and there's nothing wrong. At the end of the day, it's a beauty pageant, but I'm just saying there's a whole spectrum that we shouldn't just
judge it from that.
Yeah, we shouldn't just judge it in one way, because we have to realize that yes, there are girls who are like this, but there are also girls like this. You know, it's not just because you have one or two or three that fall into that category that you judge the entire group by it. You know, I think this is one of the problem even in lots of political or social issues in the world. You know, you see one or two, three people and you judge a whole nation or a whole people based on it, and I think that's just something we need to work towards changing.
But could this actually, I don't know, this is what I'm thinking, could this actually happen on, like, if you're put on the spot during some sort of, you know, pageant, could that actually happen? Like she would, like her brain wouldn't know what to do and she just says something like...
Of course. If I, you know, that is also a possibility, you know, nervousness, you know, what is it called, stage fright, does a lot of things to you. You know, you're on the spot, you have like, what, 6 million people, you know, I'm not going to say 6 billion because then you can't assume everybody's watching it, but you know, you have all these people looking at you, you're on the spot, you're representing your country, your nation. It's a huge possibility. I don't know, you should run for Mr. Sri Lanka and tell me how it goes.
I'm too much of a pretty boy to go for Mr. Lanka. They're all bulked up and stuff, but I'm not.
So you should change that stereotype.
Yeah. It's too much of work. I like just laying down on this couch and doing these interviews. That's what's fun about it.
You like it?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm stealing the show again. You see what I'm doing? I'm not actually trying to do it. It just happened.
Yes. Okay, Stephanie, a year ago, a Sri Lankan girl, just like you, made quite a mess on the question and answer segment that Miss Universe pageant did. Does it upset you?
No, it doesn't upset me, because I actually think that one thing Sri Lanka needs to work on is training the girls they send to represent in any pageant, competition, whatnot, because it's Sri Lanka's image that's being projected.
Okay.
And you know, it's the duty of the nation as a whole to make sure that, you know, this girl is groomed on how to walk, how to talk, what to say, because there's a huge training behind it. And if you look at countries like Venezuela, countries like the US, they train their girls from day one. You know, these are the questions you have to learn to answer on your toes. This, you have to walk. This is how you walk. This is how you smile. This is how you pose. And in Sri Lanka, we don't have much of that. You know, it's the duty of those who are organizing this pageant, who are getting these girls ready. It's their duty to make sure that these girls, you know, are ready for what lies ahead. Because at the end of the day, we are all adding towards Sri Lanka's brand, the brand Sri Lanka in the global context. And every single player, no matter which industry, or you could be a musician going and, you know, performing or competing in an international music competition, you are still projecting the brand Sri Lanka. So people are going to have their impression of Sri Lanka based on looking at them. So it's very important that regardless of which, it's not just politicians who need to be trained, it's also people who go out in the international fora, who need to be trained to give out the proper impression. And I think, you know, I think she did the best that she could, and I think we need to applaud her for what she did. Because, you know, I personally have met her, and I think she's an amazing girl. She's very intelligent. English was not her forte, and I think she should have been trained. If not, I think I'm really proud of what she has done so far. And I know it's easy to laugh, but it's very tough, you know. And I think as a nation, we have to work towards supporting our girls a bit more, training them and sending them out ready to win the competition.
A definite wake-up call, right, Jason?
A definite wake-up call. But getting a bit serious here, for competitions like Miss Universe, is it possible that if you if a contestant starts humanitarian projects, that she has a chance to win, or that if she has the initiative to start a humanitarian project, that she might win it as well? Is that something like a key factor that could help you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I've heard that some people, you know, pretend to be a lot of people say, oh, are you genuine? Because I remember I've always stood for a cause, and one of my closest friends actually told me after the whole pageant, he was like, you know, when I first met you and you were telling me all this, I thought you were just putting on a show because you were Miss Sri Lanka and going to the pageant. But now I know it's real, you know. So I guess some people do lie about these things, but I think at the end of the day, you know, people will see if you're genuine or not. So just, it's important to just be yourself. And I think, anyway, all beauty queens do have a cause. It's their duty and their responsibility to give back to the nation that they're representing.
Of course.
So in a way, I think it's a duty that they have to fulfill. But I don't think it can actually have an edge on, oh my gosh, I'm going to win, you know, I'm fighting for this cause. I don't think it works like that.
Did you just see that? She went a bit wild there.
Yeah, sorry.
Jason and I
Okay,
noticed,
move back.
we both noticed it, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. You wave really slowly like this.
Do you?
Yeah,
Does she?
Yeah, you do.
Do you
I do?
actually?
Yeah, you do.
Well, I've only waved like that a couple of times, so.
Really?
I think that was the first time when I won. You know? This is
I
you know
why so slow?
you know where I learned this? This is from, thank you very much. This is
Okay.
from The Princess Diaries, when she trains Amelia.
Ooh.
That's,
You know-
I watched that too.
Okay.
You know what that wave reminds me of? You know that famous actress in Hollywood that actually married the prince? What was his
Elizabeth
face?
Taylor?
No.
Did she not marry a prince?
No, the one famous one. Grace Kelly!
Oh, okay.
She does that. She used to do that slow motion thing, so I'm guessing you used to watch a lot of Grace Kelly movies.
Not really.
No?
Sorry.
It was a wild stab in the dark and I just failed.
So I think movie influences, yeah?
Movie influence?
Yeah? Movies influence you too.
Did you happen to have any movie influence?
Well, you know, the thing is, like I told you, when I won this time, when I won, I was still clapping. I didn't realize that I had actually won because I didn't think, to be very honest, I was hoping to win. I put my mindset on winning, but because if you're in a competition, you're all or nothing, you know. But I was still clapping. I really didn't expect to win. And then when I heard my last name, I was like, oh my gosh. And then, I was really surprised. I felt like crying. It was very humbling. But then after that, I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to do this. And unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of help. A lot of people didn't know me here,
Oh, right,
so
okay.
I didn't have a lot of support here. So I really had to pick on all these resources to try and learn, because I've never even opened a fashion magazine before in my life.
Right.
Okay.
And here I am. I have to walk down a ramp, in front of all of these people and compete. So bring on the movies as much as I could learn.
You
from
were
all of
never
them.
a fashion person in
No.
school. You never participated in any of these, right?
No.
And in uni life, you got a little, you went and joined a lot of clubs.
I was running the clubs. I was the
Yes.
head of all of the clubs.
Nice. So was I.
Yeah.
Mental high five.
High five. Because I was part of the student union.
Yeah.
I was elected there. I was a senator. I was the governor of my university.
Exactly. Okay.
So I played very serious roles. I never took part in a fashion show. I've never done any of that. Really, fashion was the last thing on my mind.
For girls who are at their, how do I put this in a nice way? Girls at their conscious age when they're, girls at a conscious age. Do you think that's when they start looking at, women like yourself as role models?
Well, I think girls do look at girls who are, TV celebrities, beauty queens, musicians, and everybody wants to be fashionable. Everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to feel good, and everybody wants to really look good because they want to feel good.
Jason can relate to it.
Yeah, exactly. Because it brings you confidence. It brings you happiness. Guys, you have to focus on my answer.
You just would.
No, and I think it's nice to feel good about yourself and to feel
course it is.
comfortable in your
Yes,
skin.
yeah.
So I think in a way, girls